Happy Tuesday. Ooh, scratching. Happy Tuesday. So y'all see I got the light up on air. Your boy had to get a little energy. I had to work a little extra today. Hold on, let me make sure y'all can hear me before I even just start yapping. I mean, I can hear myself. My headphones sound like it's turned down though. On the couch. How everybody doing? How everybody doing? How everybody doing? How many people we got rolling in? We got about 1,000,000 people rolling in today. We got about 1,000,000. Let me stop playing with y'all. So we put the light up. Yes, indeed, we put the light up. Let me see. It's the headphones. Y'all just see me over here doing something. Hold on. Wait. This should be the headphone. That's the microphone. I had to turn my headphones up a little bit. Just turn down. Hey, I just had played it back like me just doing this right here. Imagine me always starting a live stream off like this, like just, and it just, we here today to talk about, just imagine that. Just, I don't know, I just like standing up, man. I see why my professor used to stand up. Not gonna lie, I stole this from him. I stole this idea from him. The desk came from my sergeant. And then Al got me the light on air. So I got two when I'm sitting down, standing up. Probably won't be sitting down for a minute until I get tired of standing up. So it's Tuesday. Hopefully your weekend was lovely. Hopefully your Friday was lovely. And hopefully Monday was lovely. And we have a lot of things going on. Class of 2026 is graduating. We got people posting their lovely pictures. I love these graduation pictures. I do love them. One of the best things I would love about being on LinkedIn, I get to see so many people proud of their education, proud of what they're doing. And we just get to talk higher education before we just get into everything. And it's just a good time to go to college, man, get a great return on investment, hopefully get a job with some stability, even though every job can't guarantee you stability. Make sure y'all like and subscribe as we keep going. And I got a few things. Shout out to everybody who watched the live reaction video of Snowfall. I've been changing the title a little bit. Seems like it's doing well. I appreciate everybody watching that, finding that interesting. I'm going to keep doing the live reactions to movies and stuff related to higher education, finding ways to keep you interested. And then, of course, school reviews as well. I'm thinking about cracking open deeper reviews on schools during live stream, since we're not doing the school review inside of the live stream already. So it makes me feel better. Like I'm finding a groove with you all a little bit, finding what you like and don't like. Like you like the college, but you like, yeah, I want to see something that's kind of like not majorly entertaining, but entertaining. So yeah, man, we got fall semester coming up, fall 2026. Feel cozy right now. It feels like winter time in here. That's why I got this hoodie on. Summer's around the corner. Like and subscribe if you stop by. And first things first, though, we got millionaires talking at graduation as usual. We got some billionaires. As you see, I got Jitson Young, NVIDIA founder, CEO. I believe he's a I think he's a founder, solely founder. And we got him talking. He was talking at Carnegie Mellon. If you don't know, I was just talking about that school recently and how that person was a billionaire back in his day. He was like a Rockefeller, a JP Morgan. He was that type of guy who didn't believe in college at first and then changed his views on why college is really important. And then supposedly, you know how they do with the LLCs and stuff and all that. But he gave all his wealth away when he passed away so that he can have the institution that Jitson Young spoke at. I'm going to pull it up. I don't know why I haven't put it up yet. Hopefully y'all doing good. You know, I like to do a check-in with you all, as they say. I don't really like that word because I used to do it so much at my old job at Georgia Tech. I just want to make sure everybody's okay. Remember, debt-free graduate. you can do it too. You know, you see the YouTube on there if you watch it from LinkedIn. Hopefully it's not too blurry. Remember, you can strive to get that too. Pick a school you can afford. Make sure it's in a geographic location, not too expensive. And just rock with us, man. We're going to talk about saving money in college, making money in college so you can be a commencement speaker. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like me. I didn't walk at my on my master's degree. I didn't walk. I said, nah, why you ain't walk here? Why you ain't walk? One day, I'll let you know. Hopefully, when I get that interview one day, I'll let people know why I didn't walk for my master's. I should have, but I didn't intentionally. So let's see. Before we get started, oh, there I was gonna say it's not loading. I get a live screen, just don't say none one day. Just sit on here, just disclaimer. Remember, the videos presented here are for informational purposes only, and therefore, if you are to choose an institution, remember, consult with the institution. Call them, reach out to them, talk to their financial aid, talk to their academic advisors, talk to somebody who knows or works at that institution. Remember, by the time you see this live stream or a clip or whatever you see, it could be a year from now, it could be a month from now, or it could be the next day. As I always say, coming July is going to be a lot of changes to higher ed. And so just keep that in mind. That's why we always say disclaimer, All right. Close that down. And before I even get into it, we got some SHIO updates. I got a good few updates. One of them I actually took and made it a headline update. So Tuesday, May 12, 2026, I told you I had to work. Today, I worked longer because I'm still playing a little catch up. My students have been wearing me out at work. Like, I love them, but they've been wearing me out trying to get these classes. And I'm trying to make sure they good. Because the way I'm in, if I can vent to y'all real quick, let me get on y'all level real quick. Let me stop. But I really do want to make sure they don't get the wrong classes when I'm advising them, because not taking a class in fall, they think they could take it in spring, and that's not the case. So that's why I be telling you guys about certain things. I never really talk about that, but every class is not offered every semester. So I think everybody should have an idea of that before they go to college, or if you're currently going to college. And always use all your resources in college, all of them. And so let's keep going though. SHIO has a conference coming up in August 3rd to 6th, Chicago. I know I keep saying that, but I don't know. We'll see how everything going right now, because your boy been going through it in life a little bit. So the national policy, SHIO updates on national policy. So this is by, I believe, GAO. I don't know what that is, but there was a report that Pell Grants overall student overall student eligibility increased at the free application for federal student aid simplification. GAO report shows FAFSA simplification. Why am I doing? I didn't even show y'all nothing in the first 10 minutes. I need to just be showing y'all something to look at. Y'all need something to look at while I'm doing this. Hold on. I think I'm going to show y'all Jensen real quick. Let me show y'all Jensen. Jensen is the first thing. Let me see. I gotta be using this, man. I can't just be talking like I don't got a share screen button up here. And so I think when I'm doing stuff like this, hold on real quick. Let me see something real quick. Multiple. Oh, I do need it like that. Yeah, I can see that stuff on the side. Let's see. I could do it like that for now. That'd be pretty good. So inside higher ed, they're talking about the report too, but GAO report shows FAFSA simplification paid off. I might have to cover that because I need to know what GAO is, and I don't know. And why is it blank, man? Why y'all making my life hard? Why is that blank? Just a blank screen right there. Why is it? Oh, because I'm doing that. Weirdo. Weirdo. Let me just do that real quick. All right, I'll just do it. Students, so this is by AEI. I believe AEI is American Enterprise Institute. Have I been saying that right? I know I ask every time. Yeah, American Enterprise Institute. I did get that right. So, American Enterprise Institute students should not take on debt for low performing cosmetology schools. Then, right here, AEI, how to protect taxpayers from the fallout of college closures. Oh, wow, that's actually a good one, too. We got a couple good ones. This might be a 2 hour live stream, no lie. So that's for national. And so if I say your state, let me know your state in the chat, man. Let me know your state because I'm about to cover my state. GA, what you doing? So state policy updates from Shio. We got California. Cal State may soon offer degrees that take just 3 years to finish. Work experience counts too. California, fewer immigrant families submitting FAFSAs in California. Colorado universities come out against a bill that would cut $14 million in aid to private institutions. Poor private institutions, they just getting it. Georgia, Governor Kemp signs legislation strengthening Georgia's workforce. Georgia moves beyond hope with need-based aid for college students. Iowa launches workforce Pell Grant program for colleges, universities. New Jersey, college summer aid cuts may harm students for life, educators say. Oregon's tuition-free community college aid program could be on its last legs. Virginia, new law will require Virginia colleges to ask students if they are parents. I wonder what that leads to. All these are very good headlines. Shout out to Shio. Definitely gonna cover one of them out of there for sure, but probably gonna be multiple now. So, all right. So, first and foremost, Jensen Young, as I said before, spoke at Carnegie Mellon, if I said it right, Carnegie Mellon University. There's been an influx, if I said that right, using that word right. It's been an influx or a good pipeline of commencement speakers since graduation is coming up. Since, or coming up for some, already happening for many. Some people have been getting threats about speaking at universities. Students have been booing these commencement speakers. It hasn't been a good year really for graduation. Al told me because I slightly missed Al's graduation because I missed majority of it because of just life. I trying to switch my car out, make sure everything good with that. Excuse me. Got poured over that same day, as I explained before on one live screen. And so, but she told me they didn't even have a commencement speaker at her graduation or at our graduation at Georgia State. They didn't have a commencement speaker. And she thought that was weird. I was like, well, the commencement speaker was the university president. I thought that was still pretty good because the university president at Georgia State is a millionaire. So technically, he was a millionaire speaking. So I don't blame him for speaking at the graduation at all. just like right here, this is a billionaire speaking. And then according to Chronicles of Higher Education, according to the Chronicles of Higher Education, Muriel Bowser, if I said it right, mayor of Washington, they said picture above, drew mixed reactions and chants of free DC at Howard University commencement. And then right here, Gloria Caulfield, if I said it right, vice president of strategic alliances at Tavistock Group, something like that, was met with boos when she told the University of Central Florida media school graduates that AI is the next industrial revolution. People have been saying AI is the next. I got so many things to talk about with that. Everybody has been saying AI is the next this, next that, but AI been around since 2021. That was one of my early investments in AI when it was talked about. Granted, didn't know if it was going to take off, didn't know if it was going to do what it's doing today. And so now it's like AI, data centers, fiber, all these things that's needed to produce AI. A lot of people don't like the data centers. A lot of people are like, that's bad for the earth, bad for the water. Like, hey, as I like to say, I'm good with everybody. Red, blue, green, it don't matter. Because, that's like Green Party in politics and stuff. And so, I felt that in my back, y'all. When you get rear-ended, that back don't play. Ooh. I ain't never felt that. It's sore right there. I need to tell him that. He probably I'm gonna tell him to watch the live stream because I rub my spine and it's sore on my back area, y'all. It's crazy. And so as I keep going, it's been a lot of list of schools. They talked about Georgetown University, Law Center, engineering school at Rutgers University, Utah Valley University, and South Carolina State University. All these schools been having commencement speakers, but it just hasn't been going well. And then they've been talking about the honorary doctorates. Y'all already know how I feel about it. You've been watching this, or if you haven't, if you knew. If you've been watching this, or you tapping in, you just watching, stopping by, as I like to say, stop by. What's been going on college campuses? Like, what's the word on campus? I don't really like the word on campus. For me, is I don't really like honorary doctorate degree. I think some people who do deserve the honorary doctorate degree don't get the honorary doctorate degree. That's just me. But honorary doctorate degrees are like, I can have a mixed debate about it if you put me on something and I debate and talk about it. But it's disrespectful to somebody who actually worked for a doctoral degree. And you just saying that it's because you're giving this honorary doctorate this because they are paying a certain amount of money or have a certain amount of money, and you dress them up as if they got a doctorate degree and they out here saying they have a doctorate degree and they don't have a doctorate degree. It's disrespectful to somebody who really sat down at that desk and got a doctorate degree. I don't know. Like, well, I do know, but I'm saying I don't know, like, as far as like the world view on honorary doctorate degrees. But it's been a lot going on with higher ed. It's been a lot of things to talk about. So right now, I didn't put no sound on that. I need to put some sound on that before I show it. I think that's outside. I thought that was definitely here. I was about to say, what is that sound? But that's outside. So I'm gonna play a little bit of my boy Jensen Young. Like, what's the point of having a YouTube and I don't see what he's gonna say? I'm probably gonna play him for about till I feel like I should. Yeah.
Okay, everybody, focus. I have something important to tell you. To see you graduate from one of the world's great institutions, this is her moment too. My mom and dad are deeply proud of me as well. My journey is their journey. I am their dream come true. And their dream was the American dream. Like many in this audience, I'm a first-generation immigrant. My father had a dream to raise his family in America. When I was 9 years old, he sent my older brother and me to the United States. We ended up at a Baptist boarding school in Oneida, Kentucky, coal country, a town of a few hundred people. 2 years later, my parents left everything behind to join us. They came with little to nothing. My father was a chemical engineer. My mother worked as a maid at a Catholic school. She woke me up at 4 a.m. in the morning to deliver newspapers. My older brother got me a job as a dishwasher at Denny's, which at the time felt like a major career advancement. That was my view of America. Not easy, but full of opportunities. Not a guarantee, but a chance. My parents came here because they believed America could give their children a chance. How can we not be romantic about America? I went to Oregon State University. I met my wife, Lori, when I was
Real quick. That's all I said. Real quick. I'm
17 years.
I'm gonna rewind this back. Man, look how many people over there. I think them people all got their doctorates. I don't want to say they do, but I think all the people right in this section, like right over here, have their doctorates. And I'm gonna pause it again when they show the students, but it's just like, man, we got to go to college. When I say we, I'm talking about us, you know, African American, Black, minorities. We got to go to college, man. Like, when I see people still having doctorates, when I see people still getting the education, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, man. As my bro says, it's a geek for me, man. I be geeking off of it. Like, I really do be geeking off the reason or off the fact that, like, I kind of want to change the view though. Real quick. I be really geeking off the fact that, like, college really makes you money, you know, and people don't really say it out loud. Like, you don't see interviews of university presidents. You don't see interviews of deans, provosts, vice president, provosts, and all that. And I don't even think they'll do the interview. They kind of like them under the radar people who just be minding their business, making all this money, and you'll never know. And you know, it's not all about the money, but it's just like when I hear people say college is worthless, college is this, college is that, it's just like, that man went to college. He didn't go there. You know, Jensen Young didn't go there. He went to, y'all can't see my finger. Jensen Young didn't go there, but he went to Stanford, you know, Stanford. Which led to him eventually co-founding one of the most valuable companies in at least America and part of the world, but in America. But college ain't worth it, you know. College is dead. College is pointless, and that's why I think they're raising the tuition on us, especially at universities. I think that's why it's getting harder to go to college, because it's like, man, the value going up. People gonna keep using AI. People gonna think it's this and that. People gonna think they don't have to do this. They don't have to do that. And it's just like college is gonna keep beep, 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 beep. Because he ain't got to do that. He ain't got to speak at nobody graduation, first and foremost. Like, if he worked at the school, be different, but he don't work at that school. And I'll be honest, that college don't got enough money to pay him to even speak if they wanted to pay him. Like, the different, like, this what geeks me a little bit. And like, I'm not even the biggest, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a hustler. Love money, like anybody else do, but it's like when you go to school, it's like my appetite for money kept rising the more I learned and went to school and went to college. Because like I say, when you come from a Title I school, like my school is a historical Black high school. And so we had some pretty good alumni, first and foremost, pretty good, like historical alumni. And it's a good starting point. But the students who were my peers in high school, you know, everybody wasn't going to be a lawyer. Everybody wasn't going to be a doctor. Everybody wasn't, like, some people probably went to do something that's really big time, and I haven't heard about it. And they are doing stuff that's big time, but it's not probably, I guess you would say, internet sensation, because I'm not really on social media except for LinkedIn. But I'm highly sure they probably went to college if I had to put a percentage in. So I'm gonna let them talk though.
To Oregon State University. I met my wife, Lori, when I was 17 years old. I was the youngest kid in school. My wife, Lori, I went to Oregon State University. How can we not be romantic about America?
He went to Oregon State University. My bad. I think he went to Stanford Business School. Let's see.
Oregon State University. I met my wife about America. I went to Oregon State University. I met my wife, Lori, when I was 17 years old. I was the youngest kid in school. We were sophomore lab partners. She was 19. An older woman.
Crazy.
I beat out 250 other boys in class and won her heart. We've now been married for 40 years. We have two amazing children, both working at NVIDIA. When I was 30, I started NVIDIA with Chris Malachowski and Curtis Preem, two amazing computer scientists. We wanted to build a new kind of computer, one that could solve problems ordinary computers could not. We had absolutely no idea how to build a company.
Humble beginnings.
Raise money or run NVIDIA. I just thought, how hard could it be? It turns out it is super hard. Our first technology didn't even work. We nearly ran out of money. At one point, I had to fly to Japan and explain to Sega's CEO that the technology they contracted us to build would not work. Asked to be released from a contract we could not complete. And then asked that they still pay us. Without the money, NVIDIA would vaporize. It was embarrassing, humiliating, and one of the hardest things I have ever done. And Sega CEO, Madri-san, said yes. I learned early that being CEO is not about power, but the responsibility that comes with keeping the company alive. And that honesty and humility can be met with generosity and kindness, even in business. We used the money to reset the company, and out of desperation, we invented new ways of designing chips and computers that we still use today. For 33 years, NVIDIA had reinvented itself over and over again, each time asking, how hard can it be? And each time learning, it's harder than we thought. But through those experiences, we learned never to see failure as the opposite of success. Each failure is just another learning moment, a humility moment, a character strengthening moment. The resilience forged through setbacks is what gives you the strength to go again. Today, I am one of the longest serving CEOs in technology.
And I'm gonna stop it there because I don't want to lecture y'all that much. But I was digging that though. That was actually my first time really. I saved it because I figured I was gonna watch it. I watched a good bit with y'all too. first and foremost. And let me get this. The other one is Millionaires Speak. Hear footsteps. I hear footsteps. I hear footsteps. Y'all probably wonder what I'm looking at right now, huh? You wondering what I'm looking at? Don't hurt yourself trying to figure it out. I'm trying to see. What's the? They be hiding my stuff, man. And I be knowing what I need to do. Excuse me, I don't know if y'all heard that. No, it's not gonna be there. It might. Let me do this. Oh, yeah. That's what I said. I know why I said that. I was like, what is it? I know exactly what I said. I had to think about it. I did. Because I was like, because y'all know I be making these topics or these headlines. I come up with like these topics because we work full time and then we try to do this. I come up with these topics like right before the live stream. Not come up with them, but finding like what's good to talk about. So I did say before, I said you are celebrating right now. That's what I was like. You're celebrating, you know, you finna graduate, you finna have a good time, you finna step on campus, man. You finna, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do all that good stuff. But when you finna step on campus, or get ready for campus, getting ready for college, and you about to celebrate and have a good time, man. I just wanna, before we go to the next thing, because this is actually a good topic we can talk about. Might as well show you. You should definitely, man, just make sure you're good. Make sure you ain't staying on campus. Please pick a school you can afford. I'm currently right now, like, my niece got upset at me a little bit. Not mad at me, but just a little aggravated at me because I was really like, I was on her. You know, she getting ready to go to college. It's crazy. She graduates next week. She graduates next week from college. Definitely gonna document it. Definitely gonna get it on record. My sister got an old SD card, man. When she was little, like getting bait. She gonna be mad at me if I don't know if my niece watching this. I don't know if she be stopping by, but she gonna get me for this. Man, we got videos of my little niece getting bad. Like y'all know when they little, or like maybe getting close up there to one, and they getting them baths in the in the sink, in the kitchen. So she graduates and walks the stage next week. You know, we're 10 years apart, me and my niece. And I really want to make sure she goes to the right school. You know, it's not like I have clients. It's not like a lot of people are watching our live streams right now. So I touch the people who I can help and give information to, even if they don't want it, because student loans are real, man. Saving money in school is real. It's unique right now to save money in school. Most people accept student loans as if it's going to be a burden, a guaranteed burden. And to have a strategy that actually works, I lived it and did it and working higher ed, and I'm learning more. It's things I wish I could have did different, even though I did come out debt free in college, that a lot of students could use and do as well. I just really try to do that for her. So she's getting ready to graduate. I'm excited for her. I got to reach out to a school that she is considering. I might do a review on the school. I don't know. It depends how they treat me when I call, because you never know. They may already know who I am. I don't know. And I really just learned about who they are. And so it's real out here, man. Like, it really is real. Because I was trying to find the school and not find the school. I was trying to find a program. So my niece want to do sonography, and she's going to do sonography. She's going to do it. Like, she got that mindset. She's very mature, hanging around us, being around us. We're pretty mature. But I don't see her program on the school website when I went to do it. And I'm like, I had to tell my niece, I had to tell her grandma, I'm like, I work in the, I was like, I work in a college, but the program she telling me, I don't see it. And I'm a little worried because if I could prevent you from going to a school that don't have what you're trying to do, and my niece like, man, I just need an associate's degree to do what I need to do. And the career field, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm tripping. But sonography made like real bank. Like I'm talking about, like I was on one school website. If you get an associate's degree and do their program at a 2-year college, you can make like 70 to 80 grand. That's like the median of somebody I saw. I don't work in sonography. If you know somebody do, let me know in the chat. Like and subscribe. Please share this to somebody. Giving you real life before we talk about this cosmetology stuff right here. So yeah, man, I'm definitely, like I said, reaching out on my niece's behalf, even though she probably don't need me to. I'm still going to do it and have some information for her. Like I thought about it today, but I had some meetings today at work, so I didn't get to call them when I was at work because we had some meetings. So I think that's everything really. But shout out to my niece, class of 2026, baby girl, finna. And it's gonna be kind of cool though, because let me tell you why it's gonna be kind of cool. Because my brother, her dad, he graduated in 2007. So next year is gonna be my 10th year class reunion for high school. That's gonna be his 20th year, probably. My brother should be his 20th year, my 10th year. And then it's gonna be her every time it comes around for 2020 or 2036. It's gonna be her 10th reunion. I think that's kind of cool though. Too bad. I don't know if my brother still got his Letterman jacket. I don't know if she got a Letterman jacket. I need to get a picture. And I'll tell you that if y'all stay long enough with me, I like to keep my family up, man. Love my family. Family over everything. FOE. It's like, but it's crazy. They say you got a foe, like FOE, like that's a foe, like an enemy or something, but family over everything is foe. Kind of crazy, right? So students shouldn't take on debt for low performing cosmetology schools. I'm gonna have some mixed reviews, I think. This is by Preston Cooper. As you know, shout out to Preston Cooper, man. That boy be writing. He a senior fellow. So this is a right-leaning outlet. Let's be clear. When I talk about Chronicle Higher Education, that's left, like Democratic View, Liberal View. They're very left. American AEI is a very right-leaning, right-wing media outlet. So I be agreeing with both sides. Like I be upset at the I'd be upset with the liberals, the left-leaning. I'd be upset with them on their articles because they don't really make change in higher ed, but they're trying to say the right-leaning is not doing nothing, but right-leaning be saying the things I like, hey, colleges are responsible for these students getting student loan debt. But left-leaning is kind of like, students, no, you good, keep getting debt, and we're gonna make sure you get your debt paid off. We're gonna give you free money to get it paid off, but keep running up the student loan debt. Weird, just weird to me. Neither side, because these are like the two popular left, right leaning, neither side though has really made changes to the higher ed, not the actual 1965 higher education act, not that 1965 act, but like you can update it. Like the last time it was updated, as I always say, which I love higher ed because all I gotta do is remember that until they change it. It hasn't been updated since 07, 08, and that's when Obama was in office, if I'm not mistaken. So it says students shouldn't take on debt for low performing cosmetology schools. Immediately, I saw it because a lot of cosmetology, if you know somebody trying to do cosmetology, you know somebody who's interested. One of my homeboys actually is a big time hairstylist, cosmetology, went to a 2-year college, very known in the city. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he claimed the city, but he was dope at it. But he went to a 2-year. I don't even think he got student loans. If not, he ain't had to pay much. But a lot of people, before I even get into this, go to these, y'all probably heard about them, like these schools, man, these like beauty schools. And these beauty schools are like mom and pop ran, and they charge you like an arm and a leg to go there when you can easily go to a 2-year. Like let's be real. Most of the people who go to a cosmetology school is kind of like business students. Most of the time, business or how to invest in the stock market, but you just go to school to get the credentials so you can work at a Goldman Sachs, you can work at a JP Morgan, or if you're in cosmetology, you're just doing it so you can start your own cosmetology business for sure. But some people don't even need that to start a cosmetology business, but they get certified just to have the credentials. And so same concept, like, so if you already like skilled in cosmetology, just start at a 2-year college and pay little to nothing. But most people, the reason I say people, because boys and girls do cosmetology. FYI, I know some people might be foreign to them, but you know, so I gotta say people. But some people really don't know that 2-year colleges offer cosmetology, and they be really good. It just don't, I don't know, it just don't hit the fan really yet. I feel like we keep doing what we're doing. It's gonna hit the fan. Like and subscribe, share this on your platforms. Please share this on your platforms, because YouTube has changed the algorithm. So live streams are not really popular no more. But this is really a conversation that I be wanting people to engage with me on. So as millions of borrowers fall behind on their federal student loans, leading to ruined credit and significant losses. I did not know. I thought that, I'm gonna wait. Ruined credit and significant losses for taxpayers. One type of school bears outsized blame for its contribution to the student loan crisis. Students who borrow for cosmetology schools, those that provide generally shorter term courses that lead to licensure in the beauty industry, fail to repay their loans at extraordinary high rates. Now, that's another thing. You know, like when you go, I don't know how much hairstylists get paid. I don't even want to call them just hair people who do hairstylists. Hairstylists, I don't know how much they make sometimes, really. But man, I know one thing. If you get a little building, rent out a building, get like 4 or 5 chairs, and you rent out your chair or something. And I know I've been hearing a little like business models pretty much on it, but pretty good business it sounds like. And so among roughly 1,000 institutions where student loan delinquency rates exceed 30%, nearly half are cosmetology schools. Dang, didn't know that. Let's see. Gotta fact check it. He wrote this back July 23rd, 2025. The U.S. Department of Education. I was looking at the citations, y'all. That's what I was looking at. And so right here, I don't know what this graph is. Don't ask me what it is. I'm not really analyzing it to understand, but it's definitely percentages going up. The cosmetology schools drive student loan delinquency. So it looks like it's from 10% to 60%, but yeah, all that frequency in there. Every year, 116,000 students borrow some 700. Wow. 116,000 students borrow some 700 million from the federal government to pursue courses in cosmetology, but due to high delinquency rates and income contingent repayment plans, much of that sum is unlikely to be repaid. And then as we keep going, so where are these students tending? That's the thing, because I did say beauty schools, but I want to say they didn't specifically say beauty school. They just said cosmetology schools. And then I want to look for some real quick. What does that word mean right there? I know y'all know. What that word mean? Absmol. What? Yeah, definitely finna play that out loud. No, oh, y'all ain't gonna help me pronounce it. Trying to set me up for the kill.
Abysmal.
A beat? Oh, who?
Abysmal.
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 Abysmal. Oh, I think I got it. Immeasurably low or wretched. Extremely poor or bad. Okay. Fancy way to say that. So cosmetology schools have terrible earning outcomes, low. So a lot of them are failing, apparently, and few are passing. That's what it looks like. A lot fail. But I'm looking for the schools. They usually be like, oh yeah, these are the schools that you want to stay away from. They say states require cosmetologists to undergo at least 1,000 hours of training prior to licensure, if I said it right, with some states requiring as much as 2,300 hours. And some people already have that because they be like, I've been doing here since I was 16, 15, blah, 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 blah. Or when they got grown, they turned 18. Like a lot of people be having these hours already. And so, and for comparison, emergency medical technicians need between 110 and 250 hours of training. If you ask me, they need more hours because they told me to lay back down after I had a collapsed lung. Damn EMTs told me to go lay back down. Yeah, I'll be dead right now. I wouldn't be on this live. And so, I want to see. Oh, I guess they're not gonna mention the schools. Okay, hopefully I find it when I go back through this a little bit. But as I went through it, 4 years after completion, 4 years. Oh, 4 years after completion. I don't know why I thought they said it took. For a second, I thought they said it takes 4 years to get a cosmetology certificate or something. I was about to say, whoa, it don't take 4 years. So 4 years after completion, the typical graduate of a cosmetology certificate program earns just $27,000. It's a good side hustle. This is exceptionally poor return on investment, justifies the Trump administration's proposed do no harm standard. Definitely need to see that. And so this is why I tell you guys, like, you can see like they're saying like he's literally saying this justifies that, like, this is why Trump is right about, you see how it is, like he's in, like, not him, but the outlet is in support. And honestly, I love having both views because I give you a lot of chronicle higher education. Now I'm giving you a lot of right leaning, so you can help see the view of higher ed for what it truly is. I'm not saying higher ed is bad because I'm telling you to go to college. I'm telling you to start a 2-year. I'm telling you to bridge to a 4-year, bridge to a 4-year. You know, I just feel like I work in the industry. I just feel like I'm a little too different for the industry a little bit because, well, let me go to this. I just feel like I'm a little too different for the industry if I'm speaking from experience real quick before I just keep going blah, 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 blah. Because college should be like, it's going to be one of your most expensive purchases. But for me, it wasn't, because I started a 2-year bridge to a 4-year. Like I tell people, I spent under $50,000 for my college education. Maybe close to 50,000 when I got to Georgia State for grad school, but I spent like less than 50,000 to go to college. And people on average spend 6 figures just by being on campus and having a meal plan. And I'm like, that's like one of the biggest things. I don't think it's a lot of data on that, Sam, but it's like if you listen to interviews, like you have to go read it. You can't even listen to interviews. But I'm pretty sure if you go listen to interviews, they don't ask this question. But if you ask most students, when you hear about them saying they have student loans, if you ask them, like, did you stay on campus? They're going to say, yeah, I moved off my sophomore or junior year. You're going to say, did you have a meal plan? Which they should have, because when you stay on campus, you got to have a meal plan. Why do I stress this so much? Why do I say this so much? Is because if you just do the opposite of that and don't follow that, you save so much more money in college. And a lot of people make excuses for people. Maybe that's why people don't like me either. They say, oh, this kid is in poverty. This kid needs this and needs that. They can't stay off campus. They don't have a car. They don't have this. They don't have that. Man, don't get me wrong. Some things you do need. But most of the time, I just got to relate. Like, I'm like, well, I was in poverty. I didn't have a car. I had bus transportation. It's like usually the school knows these things if they don't have like city transportation, or they know they need something to get students to go to the school. For one, they got to keep enrollment up. They got to come up with like initiatives. Like, for example, I know universities, maybe some 2 years, but I know universities, for example, if you don't have a car, they have a shuttle. They have a shuttle. Like my university did not have, actually, Valdosta, the city, doesn't have public transportation, but you can ride the shuttle. But usually if you're staying in an area like that and you know you don't have public transportation, you must have a car, or your parents or somebody gonna take you. Like people know that when they move there, usually. But if you don't have a car, you don't have money to go to school really, and you banking on financial aid and you like, I can't work and go to school, you just need to really go get a job. I was going to say go get some money, but go get a job, because school is not for you if you need money and you like, it's hard to go to school because I don't have the money and financial aid wasn't, like, go work, then come back to school. Like, but I did learn, they say this, they say in a data report I learned in a meeting today that the longer it takes you to go to school, the more life events are going to happen to you as you get older. I find that true. But when I think of women going to school, like moms who have like 2 or 3 kids, working a full-time job, they're not married, they're the only parent, and they're going to school, you know, passing classes, taking anatomy and physiology, trying to become a nurse, grinding. You know, I get that a kid who 18, well, as I like to say, I was that age at one point. I feel like you don't really have as many excuses, but everybody is different. So I find the liberal arts in me to have the sympathy for you on that. But just play the game right. If you know you don't have the money, you don't have the transportation, you don't have so much what you need to go to college, go work. If you feel like working is too hard and you don't want to work, but college might be the move, go to college. If you feel like both are overwhelming when you go all in on one, be a part-time student, be a part-time worker. You can do both that way. Like, you can play it like the variables can move. Like and subscribe, by the way, like and subscribe. And so as we keep going, so accountability in higher education and access through demand-driven workforce Pell. Student tuition and transparency is called stats and earnings accountability. Oh, it's an article. Looks like. So it's not something we could just look at real quick. That's okay. So as we keep going, the proposal is simple. The federal government will not provide student loans to a program where the median graduate earns less than comparable individuals with only a high school diploma. The rule applies to all types of institutions, traditional universities and trade schools alike. But cosmetology schools, with their poor earning outcomes, are among the likeliest to fail. Do no harm. They're going to be the most likely, like they send the cosmetology schools. But I want to see something real quick. And he talking about the One Big Beautiful Bill ad that we was talking about at that time. College is accountable. It's a 64-page document. Most programs will pass, but some are in the danger zone. Most programs will pass. Do no harm tests. Most programs are going to pass, I think. But if you go on a lot of school websites as well, you will notice as well that a lot of schools, I want to say that's it though. A lot of schools are actually showing you the return on investment more. There are more of them are showing you the return on investment. Like and subscribe. A lot of schools have to show you the return on investment now on their school website and be real accurate with it because they're getting punished for it. Now, the only thing I don't like about it right now, I like it, but the only thing I'm not gonna like is that when the new administration changes, they can go back to their old ways of giving you misinformation about your potential return on investment for college. Because people think like this is simple. Like we always think like normally the typical person is going to think like it's easy. If you don't get the return on investment, don't go there. But most people don't know that. Most people just apply to college because they're just trying to like my niece, going back to my niece, love her. Hopefully you watching. But my niece was like, I just want to get it over with. You know, I got into school. I got into this school. They say they have my major, and all I got to do is just wait to get my classes, and I'm done. She's like, she wants to do it like, and you know, a lot of people are like that, and they're not thinking about the return on investment. They're not thinking about car insurance. They're not thinking about health insurance. They're not thinking about ROI. What's an ROI? You know, like It don't matter if you 18, if you 25, if you 30, you 35, you 40. Some people don't think about that stuff. You got people still living with their parents at 30 years old, 35. You better watch Step Brothers. Step Brothers put you on. And I'm talking about with Will Ferrell on them. So it's just things to consider, man. And like the do no harm test, like a lot of schools are good, a lot of schools are bad. So a lot of schools are going to be bad real quick before we go to the next segment, because I really have to pick a topic that is one of those from Shio, because Shio also did some. But a lot of schools are going to do bad because their amenities are high. You know, like nobody ever asked like why is on campus expenses being charged like this. And honestly, I don't really. Well, private schools are taking the most hits. Private schools and small schools that are like, not your state school, but other schools that are like in the middle of nowhere or something, or like most people are not going to. And those schools, might have to consolidate to a bigger school like NYU or something, which I don't like, because if schools start consolidating to only like certain amounts, then you're forced to go to this school that's charging this price. Unless somebody knows what they're doing, and then they say, well, even though this school might consolidate into like a NYU, for example, NYU still has this schoolhouse attached that just consolidated, and they're still charging the same price. So you could still go to NYU. You're just a part of the other part that merged in with them. So it could be like that. It's a lot of ways to do it, but are people doing that? No. That's the problem I'm trying to get through. Like, we're still racking up student loan debt. We like at 1.7 trillion. Nobody, people who work in higher ed, as I like to say, don't care. They say they care, but they don't care really. Most people work in higher ed because they think the job is safe, but just a wake-up call for you if you work in higher ed like I do. Our jobs are not safe. And so no job is safe. That's why I'm in the stock market. No job is safe. That's why you got to be recession proof. Like COVID, and I had a good time with COVID playing the game, but you got to be doing different things, 3 or 4 different things, because they're like TSA don't even say, man, TSA ain't even getting paid right now. I don't know if they are or not. I gotta ask Al, she sleep though. But TSA ain't even getting paid. Like, only people who really gonna get paid through it all. And you can name it, you can drop your own answer. Military. If I'm gonna be 110 real in America, military gonna be the only one sustain anything, any drought. Military. They the only ones who can survive a real drought that can be a regular job. So, in a college, but still, colleges still have to make their cuts. Like, with that being said, let's go to the next topic. I seen something here I want to talk about. Yeah, because Inside Higher Ed, which is also another media outlet that's liberal. That's liberal though. But AEI, the one we were just talking about, American Enterprise Institute, remember that is right leaning. So I don't want y'all getting confused saying that I said AEI was liberal, and it's not. It's right leaning. I have to say these things because I gotta say these things so y'all just be like, Henry, you don't have to say that no more. And once again, I need the law again. They keep telling me this. So I don't know if I should go to the real thing, but I don't know. And I'm talking about this, y'all. I'm going to be talking about this. I don't know if y'all can see it. Appreciate that article. GAO. I don't know what GAO is. So I'm just gonna. It's the United States Government Accountability Office. Yeah, definitely gonna add that to the bookmark. If y'all can't see that. Higher education research. Definitely gonna add that. So just gonna hit that back button now too. So Pell Grants. Overall student eligibility increased after free application for federal student aid simplification. So we got some fast facts. We're probably gonna cover it in here a little bit too. But okay. So you need to listen right now. If you are a Pell Grant student planning to get financial aid or anything, this is some underrated stuff right now that I'm showing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So fast facts. The Pell Grant program is the largest source of federal grant aid supporting student access. So I always have to explain to students, like, they be like, yeah, I don't got federal Pell Grant no more. And I think sometimes if you explain to them that it's federal, it's or they don't say federal Pell Grant, they just say Pell Grant. But if you tell them, like, you know, this is why it's so important to have your financial aid, and then you be like, it's federal money, you know. So you break it down to them, like, the state is giving you, the state, not the state, the federal government, along with the state too, possibly, is giving you money. Anything federal, they're paying you money. How do I know? I'm speaking from a, not even gonna lie to you right now, I'm speaking from like a military perspective, because I work for a federal government in the United States Air Force Reserves. Don't you just love experience? So the United States Air Force, like, if you read the contract or anything, they are paying you federal money. They are paying me, United States Air Force, like, they're paying you federal dollars. They're paying you federal dollars to go to school. They're paying me federal dollars to serve the country, do my job, and, you know, more. But the federal dollars they're giving you to go to school is so crucial because they're giving you money to go to college. They're giving you money and believing in you that college can open a gateway, a can of worms of opportunity to you. But if you know, like, really speaking academically, it's crazy right now, Henry. If you don't do what you need to do in college, they're going to take the money away because they feel like that money could be going to someone else who needs those federal dollars. That's why they tell you to complete your financial aid as soon as possible. Like, when I tell y'all I want to be called, I be wanting to call Sam so much and just be like, hey, jump on real quick. It's your topic. Because I will be doing that soon with him. Like, I'm telling you, I'm just gonna be doing it. I don't think he gonna mind. He gonna be like, I'm asleep, I'm busy, but I'm gonna see if he is. I'm saying, I need you to jump on right now. But this one seems pretty straightforward, not overly complicated. So I did want to just, talk about that real quick. So student eligibility for Pell Grants increased for school year 2024-2025 at the Department of Education. Is this old? No, this is new. I wonder why they say 2024-2025. We're going into the 2026-2027 school year. So grants increased for school year 2024-2025 after the Department of Education simplified the student aid application, updated eligibility criteria. They said, we found that 9.9 million students were eligible for a Pell Grant in 2024-2025 compared to the prior year. 6% more students were eligible for Pell Grants, 31% more students were eligible for the maximum award. And when they say maximum award, that's usually when I be like, they're going to give you like $7,000 a year, like 7,000 something, like a year. And you got to divide that pretty much, like you get like 3,500. That's a flat 7,000, but get a little extra. So when you see maximum award, that's why I be like, the max you can get is like 7,000 something for a Pell Grant. This is Pell Grant right now. They said much of the increase in eligibility was among students with household incomes of, look at that. Much of the increase in eligibility was among students with household incomes of $60,000 to $125,000. That is so crucial for who? Middle class. That's middle class income right there. Like, people like, man, that's rich right there. Back in the day, I would have been like, that's rich. But that's middle class, because middle class couldn't get Pell, at least as far as I know. Like, shoot, I need to ask Al, did she get Pell? But I don't think she did, because by the time 2024 came, we was out of undergrad, so she didn't get the benefits of a Pell until I find out when she wakes up. But I'm pretty sure. So that's crazy. Much of these increase in eligibility was among students with household incomes of 60,000 to 125. So highlights what GAO found. So they're pretty much going through all the stuff that we can read on Inside Higher Ed. And that's why I was talking about that 7,000 some a year. I always say 7,000 some, but that 73.95 a year, that's the maximum you can get right here. That's the maximum Pell Grant award you can get. So you need to divide that by 2. That's why I'm like, that's why I'm always like, divide that by 2. Excuse me real quick. Nah, I always gotta pull my camera. Every time I gotta prove my love to y'all. Every time I gotta prove my love. I gotta fight for my love. Hold on real quick. My phone down? Oh, I got full battery. I'm on the Wi-Fi too. Hold on real quick. All right, messing up my live screen then. I got a phone call? Who called me? Nobody called me. I got 6 voicemails. So 73.95. You be like, why y'all just didn't do 7,400? Because they be knowing that little dollar make a difference. 73.95. If you get 73.95, you get the maximum Pell. Yo, you looking at 36.97 per semester. You're looking at 36.97 per semester. 36.97.50. Why? Because this is where y'all can't see me doing my dance, but this is why it's important. This is why it's important. If you're only getting 36, can y'all see that? If you're only getting 36.97 per semester, a Pell Grant alone, right? If your tuition is 15, I'm gonna start it off like that. If your tuition is 1,500, you just got your tuition paid for the semester. Like 1,500, $200, I'm gonna just say $300 in fees or something, and you at a 2-year college, $1,700, you just got your schooling paid for the semester, because it's 3. You getting 36 something per semester. So that was my game when I was at the 2-year, right? When I was at the 2-year, that's how I wasn't paying them, because Pell was taking care of it. Then that's when they talk about the refunds coming in. That's where refund checks start coming in and stuff. If you get a refund check, that's when you might get a refund check. But this is just basic financial aid. I am not a financial aid specialist, but look, that's just how I go from experience when I was a Pell Grant student. So, and these are like, Pell Grant students right now. And then they're talking about this and that, why GO did this study. So, cool. So now we get to this part. Now I'm going to change the view again. Break it right here. So, GO report shows FAFSA simplification paid off. So now I understand what we're talking about. So they're saying that when they updated the financial aid, when they updated the FAFSA, it showed a big increase in this. And then right here says the act was passed. So the FAFSA Simplification Act passed by Congress in 2020. That was during the pandemic. So I graduated in 2020 for my 2-year. Alex, I think she graduated 2022, I think. She should have got some of these benefits then. I don't know. I had to ask her. I think because she was so close to getting her bachelor's and ran out her credits. It's so stiff, man. I'm telling you, financial aid get deep. But the FAFSA Simplification Act passed by Congress in 2020 has met its goals, with more students eligible for the Pell Grant than ever before, and a larger proportion of those students receiving the maximum award. A new report from the Government Accountability Office shows in the 2024-2025 academic year, nearly 10 million students were eligible for the Pell Grant. That's 6% more than the year before. That's a big jump too. 6% is a good little bit. That's almost 10%. Not almost, but you know what I'm saying. And so nearly 8 million of them were eligible for the max award of $73.95, which is up 31% from 2023 to 2024. So that's when a lot of people be like, I'm middle class. I'm right here, literally right here. The data released Monday also shows that a large portion of the students who benefited from these increases in eligibility and awards amounts came from middle to upper class families. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That should be if this was sports, that would be a highlight reel right there. That would be a highlight reel right there. Talking to myself, talking to the camera, talking. I'm just talking right now. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all. I got so many things I got to say. Hold up. Let me get in the how the rappers, how the artists be. Let me get in the booth. Look, I got my master's in this. I did respectfully and humbly earn a debt-free degree, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree. I'm gonna go and keep it as they say, Giannis Antetokounmpo, a buck with you. Middle to upper class families were eligible by them doing this law, which I did not know, were eligible for Pell. So not only were lower income students able to get it, which they rightfully should, which I was a low income student. If you are, because like I said before, earlier in my streams, there was a problem with I used to worry about okay, what can the students in the middle class, what can they do? Because students who are technically middle class, they don't qualify for Pell. They don't qualify to get any Pell. They had to rely on, in Georgia, we call it HOPE, the HOPE scholarship, or HOPE grant, depending on what else, if they're in something different. But HOPE scholarship mostly, you gotta have a certain GPA. But I don't know, every state has their own, as I like to say, secondary, different type of thing. But ain't that crazy? They said middle to upper middle class families. It's crazy. So much of the overall increase in eligibility occurred for students with a household income between $60,000 to $125,000. The number of students from households earning between $40,000 and $80,000 who were eligible for the maximum Pell Grant. Caught a break, boy. So Representative Bobby Scott, a Virginia Democrat and ranking member of the House Committee on Education and Workforce, who requested the GAO report, celebrated its findings. In 2020, Congress, I quote, in 2020, Congress took decisive action to reform the financial aid process and expand access to higher education for students across the country. This is why I say it doesn't matter. Oh, my bad. Y'all can't even see that. Oh, why y'all ain't tell me? This is why I tell you that, this is not a poor, and Sam said this in the interview we did. It didn't get many views, but the information in that alone will save you a lot of money. I did two collaboration interviews with Sam. Many more to come. He's a very busy person. Love him. Big bro. So this is why we say real quick that it don't matter if you're low income, middle income, if you're high income, you really don't really need the money, kind of. You're higher income, but depends. This is why we say it's not really just apply for the financial aid and see what you get. You'd be surprised. This is why we say that. Just apply. And so Congress took decisive action to reform the financial aid process and expand access to higher education for students across the country. Today's report confirms that those reforms work, Scott said in a news release about the report. I was proud to work with former Senate Health Committee Chair Lamar Alexander to pass the FAFSA Simplification Act, which was an important first step to expand access for students and families. Congress should continue this work and do more to improve students' access to Pell Grants. The increase in Pell participation has left the grant program short billions of dollars, however, and Congress will likely have to find an additional $17 billion this year to prevent cuts in eligibility. Come on, man. We got the money, man. We got the $17 billion, man. Let's make it happen. Why is the University of Miami popping up on my for advertisement? Probably because I researched them. Probably, or talked about them. That's definitely my sergeant favorite school or favorite school team, whatever. Man, let's get it, man. 17 billion. Like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe. Come on, man. We got 17 billion. We finna have a freaking trillionaire. We got 17 billion. Let's make it happen, Congress. Let's make it happen, Congress. I'll sit down and talk with you why it's important. And that's it, man. That was perfect. That wasn't long. Was it too short? That was perfect. I was hyped about that one. I was hyped about that one. Like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I told you this might be a 2-hour screen. This might be one of them screens. This might be a 2-hour screen. This might be a 2-hour screen. I don't got a napkin. Y'all got a napkin for me? This ain't nothing. Hold on. Let me walk off real quick. I'll be right back. Don't leave, y'all. Don't leave. I'll be right back. One of the cons about having big lips sometimes, y'all, chapstick be coming off. Hold on. Okay. So that was a great article. That was something we need to talk about. That was really good. Okay. So we learned that they are actually expanding Pell Grant. Didn't know that till now. They know they did that in 2020. You know what I was doing in 2020? Going to school, thought I knew everything about higher education under the sun. Man, I can't wait to show y'all the old stuff, man. Shout out, man. We got something coming, man. Y'all can see, like, that's gonna be a very like a very interesting thing we putting together. And we're gonna sell it. And it's gonna help you save money. It's just gonna put it in front of people. It's gonna be something. I don't want to say it because, yeah, man, I can't say it. I can't. It's one of the things I can't say it. I'm just working on it every day. Every day I'm working on it. Like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe. We got some coming. Like literally working on it. It's from like, this with the long car accidents. Like working on it. Yeah, I can't wait for it, man. So, do I see anything else up here to talk about real quick? I think I want to talk about that too. That's what I was going to talked about Oregon not too long ago. Georgia. I live in Georgia, but some of y'all might want to know about Georgia. Wish y'all was in chat. Tell me what y'all want to hear real quick. Talk about that. Oh man, I didn't even get all the freaking Chronicle. So apparently they have a chart of the day. Let me see. Today, bro. Only 1 in 4 does. Oh, it's a report. Not saying we don't have time, but I already been talking y'all head off a little bit about that. Let me see. That is a good one. That is probably something we should look into. Unless we already covered it. Sometimes they be reusing stuff. Nah, wrong side, my G. Wrong side. And then let me see. They say that now the education department is hiring. The Trump administration plans to add 334 federal student aid employees by 2027. Despite efforts to dismantle the education department, overhauls mandated by Congress gives the agency work to do. So they're bringing in, if you want to work at the department of the education department, this is your chance. They are bringing in 334 federal student aid employees. Pizza in the oven. Pizza in the oven. Finger back. Oh, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Hey, quick question while you up for the live screen real quick. You gonna find this hilarious. So a simplification at law, but you know when they say act, but a simplification law was put into place back in 2020, and it was pretty much saying that it was supposed to help bring in the short term, Pell Grant access to middle class families. And then I was like, yeah, let's get that. That was in 2020. You was still in school, right? Even after 2020? Well, she wasn't eligible, y'all. I thought she would have been. Maybe she was a little higher in that tax bracket. Her family, maybe so. But okay, so lawmakers introduced resolution to rescan OBBA, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, student loan rule. This is new. Is this new? This was today's This was public, or as they say, publicized. This was the publication day. Just say publication is on May 11th. It was yesterday. So a group of Democrat lawmakers introduced a bicameral resolution to rescind the Department of Education's recent final rule governing student loan provisions enacted by the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Let me see. I'm not seeing much right now. Just over a week ago, the Education Department published the final regulations implementing the student loan provisions enacted under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which makes several changes to the federal student loan programs, including new loan limits for graduate, professional, and parent borrowing. So they're trying to really change. Well, no, not change. We already know they're trying to change that. Oh, it's saying that, which makes several changes. The rule also implements statutory changes, establishing a new tiered standard plan and repayment. We know that. Since the negotiated rulemaking, many Democrat lawmakers have voiced concerns specifically over the new loan limits. I keep telling y'all, the Democratic lawmakers, they really want you to, I guess, keep borrowing money. But on one end, I get the both sides. I get the view. I get the Democratic views. Democratic views is like, look, man, they need these loans because they can't go to med school, law school, PhD school if they can't borrow more money. That's what they're saying. Like, if you put a cap on that, they're not going to have enough to go to school, which I find interesting because it's like sometimes you don't need that much. But if you go to a school, like, it's a different ball game when you're talking about grad school, but you got to get into the school. And the schools you're applying to, I don't know if these schools who have lower standards, usually it's like schools who have lower standards, even in undergrad and grad level. If schools have lower standards, in most cases, they charge you a higher fee because they know, like, look, we're saying you can have a 2. I hope you ain't going to nobody med school with a 2.2, but they're saying like you can have a 2.2 and still get into med school. So guess what? They're going to charge you a higher fee to come there, or higher tuition price. But if you go to a school that requires all this, like X, Y, and Z, they try to make it a little more easy for you on the tuition side. But the only reason I say that is because Georgia State always has different programs. I know I'm not. Hey, if I'm gonna promote a school, I'm gonna promote schools I went to off GP. I'm gonna talk bad about them if they did something bad or not doing something right, but most of the time it's gonna be good if they catch me in a good mood. Like and subscribe. But these schools, what I was saying, most of the time though, it's like, yeah, like I said, Georgia State, for example, then at least for me, at least in my program, it wasn't, I had to get like recommendations. You know, I had a great GPA, had to have work experience to get into my grad program, funny enough. And then I got in, but the prices weren't crazy. Like Georgia State prides themselves on having great tuition prices that I think a lot of people don't know, and you get a great learning experience. But as back to this, they said in response, several Democratic lawmakers on Thursday introduced a bicameral joint, if I said it right, bicameral joint resolution on the Congressional Review Act to rescind the rule. And then they go into these Democratic people. I believe they Democrat when I see that D, because R is like representative sometimes. But both Bonamici and Merkley expressed concern that the new rule will prevent many potential students from entering critical public service jobs. That's what they're afraid of. And then it is absurd to take away more affordable student loan repayment plans at a time when families are struggling to cover costs as prices skyrocket for gas and other basic needs as a direct result of Trump's reckless economic policy. That is, but I need to see who this person is. They're saying this person's name a lot, and they said it in the beginning. Where is it? What's the person's full name? This person right here. Suzanne. This is Suzanne Bonamici. I believe Bonamici, if I said it right. She is an American lawyer and politician. And she went to the University of Oregon School of Law, the University of Oregon, and she went to community college. Whoa. She started at a community college back in 1978. Crazy. Lane Community College. Y'all getting a shout out right now on the live screen. Lane, what's the point of me having this and I don't show y'all the school? Lane Community College. Let's see what they up to right now. Y'all see it? Lane Community College. This is apparently what she started at because they put it in there. Look, Lane Community College said, look, compared to the University of Oregon, you see what we talking about? Hey, we 53% less. Come rock with us. Hold on, let me zoom the camera in on me real quick. Hey, they said, hey, we 53% less than the University of Oregon. They said we 10 toes down on it. No, that wasn't 10 toes, but that was about 9. But they said 10 toes, 50% less. Tuition and fees, 45 credits. They said, look, cut your costs, expand your options. Man, y'all don't want to save no money in college, man. That's what we'll say in my neighborhood. Y'all don't want to save no money in college. Y'all don't want to save no money in college, man. Y'all not looking at the resources. Y'all not looking at the, like, schools like this are standing on it. Like, look, like, we do want you to go there. Hold up. We do want you to go there. Hey, but at the same time, hey, 50% off? 50% off? Everybody love a discount. Everybody love a discount compared to the University of Oregon. I'm going down a whole nother rabbit hole. I'm going down another rabbit hole. This where she went. This is what she got her start. Suzanne, what's your net worth? Probably ain't gonna tell me. What's your net worth, Suzanne? You was a lawyer. Hey, they say Suzanne, they say her net worth was about 697. I don't know if it's accurate. That's open secrets. I don't know that. Oh, my bad. I ain't this. Hold on real quick. They said they saying she was about, I don't know. Some saying she got millions, this and that. Some look, AI overview says she worth about 10.3 million. I don't know. They saying she got a portfolio heavily invested in mutual funds. I don't know. But I do know one thing. Suzanne went to a 2-year college and she a lawyer now. I know that. Then she got into politics. I know that. This is her college. This is where she started. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, as they say, as I say. But okay. You had to show that. Just, that goes over people's heads a lot. Dang, man, that's crazy. So, because this person right here says it's absurd. That's why she was like, these changes to the federal loan system are unacceptable, and I would do everything I can to oppose them. So that's when they say Merkley said the education department's final rule would cause particular harm to public service jobs. So, like, by failing to classify nurses, teachers, firefighters, you don't have to go to school to be a firefighter. Not traditional school, at least. But by failing to classify nurses, teachers, for sure, social workers, accountants. What about the people who work in higher ed? What about college staff workers? We don't never get no recognition, bro. It's always teachers and nurses and stuff. We'll never get recognition as social workers. But it's in accountants, architects, and others are pursuing professional degrees for student loans. The Trump administration is undermining the future of critical professions, Merkley said in a statement. At the same time, this is driving up the cost of student loans for all professions by establishing costlier, if I said that right, student loan repayment plans. And then that's pretty much it. I agree with that. I agree in some form. I agree. I don't think they said nothing wrong right there. But according to real quick, let me see. And then I got some stuff on AI. Everybody talking about AI. Price transparency. Nothing really. They said the University of Michigan, though, aims to make a $2 billion investment from a $20 million. Where is it? From a $20 million investment into ChatGPT's parent, OpenAI. That's according to documents made public in a lawsuit Elon Musk bought against OpenAI. Okay. So pretty much, I think that's it, guys. How much? What we at? Hour 30? Okay. Strong. Don't want to feel like I'm forcing it. Appreciate everybody who stopped by. Appreciate you if you shared it, liked it, tweeted it, thumbed it. I don't know these days. I just appreciate you stopped by, though. Hopefully you get something out of this. I feel like with some gems in here, some information. Every live stream is really informational, but I enjoyed it with you all today, and we'll be back Thursday. Please be safe. We'll be back on Friday Eve. Remember, don't play this all at one time. If you're busy or if you're trying to get information on how to save money for college, play it at 15-minute intervals or speed it up. I don't know. Just play it. Listen to it. It's like, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, it's boring sometimes. I get it. It's 110 boring sometimes. Like, it's like none of this stuff impacts me, but it impacts you. The policy impacts you a lot. Something I didn't realize. It's something I started noticing when I really started getting into grad school. That was like really what I was focusing on. Should have took a law. Like, really like a law class or something on like higher ed, because you could be a higher education lawyer, FYI. And so yeah, just like, subscribe, share it on your platforms, guys. Please push this out and share it with people. I appreciate it and love you for that. But I appreciate and love you if you don't. But I appreciate you. You know, that's just me saying I really appreciate that, because you don't have to do that. And then Thursday, then, you know, school review Friday, or depending, might be another reaction, because y'all like that reaction. Peace, love, chicken grease. And just remember, you're helping somebody save money when they start a 2-year, reach to a 4-year, and they stay off campus and they don't get a meal plan. That goes for a 2-year and a 4-year. Remember, be under a pathway agreement, articulation agreement, because it's going to set you up to save so much money. So remember, you need to know if your university got a partnership with your 2-year. You need to know if that 2-year can go to other 4 years, so you don't feel like you got to go to this one school. Never want you to feel. I want you to feel diversified when you go to a college. Peace, love, chicken grease. See you.